I'm Vo, and welcome to our online nail art class. Today, we're going to demonstrate this design right here, and everything that we use is available at www.tinovo.shop. Now, let's get ready. So, first, I am going to do this design right here in the middle finger of the ghost. So, the color that I would choose would be Top Gel Beige Nude. So I'm going to apply all over these fingers. This color beautiful for fall. It's like a pink, but it's like a deeper bruisey pink. And I think it's really attractive for the fall season. It's a tad bit darker than all of my nude. Let's go ahead and cure for 60 seconds. I am going to paint two other fingers with the same colors, and this is a good opportunity for you to see how I maneuver to this design with a different shape. Cure this, because everything that you see in here is in square shape, and right now I am doing a stilettos. Cure this for 60 seconds. This one is done curing, and just so you know, this surface are no wipe, meaning when you put super pigment onto it, like this one right here, then it's not going to stick onto this surface. So if you were to draw a ghost and you want to apply some pigment for shading, like some pink or some blue, then I want you to know that it's perfect to do on this background. You just take your pigment base and you draw. Just take pigment base out. And right after that, you can apply pigment on top of pigment base because it's amazing for pigment, but it's gonna avoid the background. But we're not gonna do that today. I just want you to know some extra information about special effect, just because it's important to be aware of what you're working on and what it can do, even when you don't use it. When you don't use it for a special effect, but just use it for colors. And today, we only use beige nude for color, but it can be pretty amazing. Now we're gonna take our brush out. I have 10mm liners right here, and then that's for liner. I have 7mm detail brush. And then I have embossed brush. I use it for painting, or if I mess with gels that are heavy, like if I use art gel, I love to use this. And then these are similar but way shorter. It's coloring brush. Okay, and anytime I work with top coat, I love to use coloring brush. It's fanned out more than an embossed brush. Embossed brush will have a pinpoint, but it's not a liner, it's still heavy. This doesn't have a pinpoint. It's fanned out very well. So I am going to clean it all with the brush conditioning cleanser that I showed you before. And that is an oil base, and the oil are gel compatible, so it doesn't mess with your gels. It's amazing. So I cleanse it before I use it, just to make sure that all the hair and bristle is tore out and loose for me. It's getting ready for me to paint. So pick one, this one, and put this one over here. And we are going to take our pigment base. Embossed brush will be my choice. Fan it out, wiggle from side to side to saturate it, and then stroke it out to make it slimmer. And we are going to draw this ghost. The reason why I use the embossed brush instead of a liner brush, because look how thick the stroke is compared to a line. Because you know you have to fill in this entire ghost. It'll be horrific to use a liner for that, because then you're not gonna be done until tomorrow. You don't want that. Now, the reason why I have it out here so you can envision it, so you can actually have a clue of where I'm going, because right now, when I draw on these little drapes, tilt the brush a little bit here. So when I draw on these little drapes right here, See that? Then I need to be aware of what it looked like with all the detail. But what I'm going to do is the silhouette. So let's draw the tails of the ghost first. That's what I prefer. And then one curve. Okay. And then you see there's another curve. And it's very sharp. Like this. Curve in. See, don't try to flow with this angle. Make sure there's a sharp turn right here. Do it again. Going in. Over here. Going in. Going in. And we are ready for colors. So let's go ahead and put all the color into the ghost. At this point, you will find out if you use liner brush for a long time, for years and years, and you get so used to your liner brush, when you're doing this like this, when you pick up a little pigment bay and paint it with an embossed brush, you will fall in love. It's amazing. It's so fast and so quick. The thing is, don't apply too much pressure. Because embossed brush are heavy. If you apply pressure, it's going to dig into a gel. So you should stroke it with light pressure, just like that. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and cure this. 60-second cure. And while we're curing this, I am gonna take out another gel, and that is art gel. Okay, so these color right here, where the pumpkin is, it's kind of like good tan brownish colors. So it's definitely in the yellow family. So I'm going to take yellow art gel out. Okay. Now, use a spatula, scoop it out. Then, definitely not these colors, but definitely close to the yellow family. So, that is when we are going to use a little bit of green, just to kind of add a little contrast to it. Just a little bit though. Okay, I think this is a lot, but still, don't add any more yellow back. Just a little bit of green like that. And you do know that orange are contrast to green. So basically, we deepen the color of yellow because when orange and green are together, it's become nothing. It become like a brown. So now we have this color, and we are going to add white. And basically, white, what black and white do is removing color too from it, make it a little less vibrant. You can see now it's getting very close to that color. See that? So just know your color, know what black and white do. They are different than other colors. One will kind of lighten the color, and one is darken the colors. White will lighten the color. And when I say light, I'm not meaning bright. I'm just meaning make it lighter. But eventually, if you add too much white, it's gonna be, all the color gonna be gone. So that's lightening. And the other one is darkening, is black. Eventually, if you add black too much, it's gonna take out all the color too. So that's why it's darkening instead of deepening. Deepen is different because it doesn't matter how deep it is, it's still going to have vibrant color. Now, coral, just because it's a little pinkish, I just want to see a little pink tone in it. It's kind of like a mossy pink. That's almost perfect. I feel like it needs a little more white, but right now it's two of these colors are very similar. It just needs a little adjustment to make it exactly the same, and it is white. So remember, green contrasts with warm color, especially orange. Orange is a true contrast of green. But yellow is not quite yellow. Green just makes the yellow become greener. But when you add orange into it, you know that it's cancel it out right away. So I start out with the yellow bay, and I add a combo of orange and green to deepen the color, but not greener or oranger, more like brownness. I can add brown, but I just want you to know color theories. And then coral is to add a little warmness to it. Now I am going to start drawing flower. Beside that color, you also have green and purple. So I will get out green. I want a darker shade, so I'm not going to use green, I'm going to use emerald green. This one right here. And then I also take amethyst out, but this color is a little lighter. So I just need to add amethyst and white. You don't have to be color specific. You can just take out these colors, but it's always fun for me to mix it. I have 23 different colors, but I'm still find myself mixing it because it's so fun to just custom the color exactly how you imagine it in your mind. And 23 color is enough to make thousands of colors. 2 different combinations. Let's take out emerald. Okay. We are ready. So beside all that, there is black for liner, and we are just going to save it for later. So we're gonna get this one out. Okay, this one out. Now, for the flower, I prefer to use a coloring brush. So I'm gonna take these yellowish colors and apply a flower here. It's gonna be like a flower crown for it. Okay, yellow. And then there is like a couple of yellow leaves. I'm just gonna go ahead and put it in. Normally, a lot of people would go from yellow to purple to green and then yellow again. And that's fine, but I'm gonna skip around. So I'm gonna put some leaf right here. That's why I can save a little more time. That's how I do it for client. And if the detail is way too refined, then you can use a 7mm. Depending on how small it is. Coloring brush and emboss brush are really for big things instead of small intricate things. Then I'd rather use detail instead. Okay. Now we check and we see that we're done with the yellow. We're gonna clear that before we put on another colors. We're gonna go ahead and clean our brush. Dip in the solution, cleanse it again, and I'm ready for green. This emerald that I'm using. So I'm gonna draw my leaf. Draw these, and the reason why you art gel, because when you draw, you don't have to be like a great artist. Art gel are very smooth. So when you draw, it doesn't matter how you draw, it's gonna smooth out. So just depend on the intricacy of the design that you're doing. Because if I draw portrait, I wouldn't start with art gel. Because portrait are a lot more layer. I would start with a thinner gel, a sharper gel with its one stroke liners. But art gel are for things like this. Things like that are easy, and you just need a smooth little block like this. Versus a portrait gonna have like 10 different layers of different color blending together. Versus art gel, that is just one layer. So I prefer to use art gel versus the design like this. It's just one layers. So it's a little more basics. It's very smooth. It's beginner friendly for art gels. Okay, cure this. Time to switch colors. I am going to choose lavender next. This I'm already mixed with amethyst and white to make lavenders. So I'm still using the 7mm details. Apply some lavenders and go on like this. Now I'm doing it for you guys to not get a little too confused because this is lesson, but you notice that the color scheme exists on all the nail. So when I do it for my client, if I already know the design ahead, I'm gonna do white, and then I'm gonna do yellow, 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 yellow. Everything is yellow, and then green, green. So I'm gonna do each step on all the nails. Some people can do that. Some people it's messed with their head when they do that. So it just depends. It's just a choice for you to design better if you can. If not, just do it them like this. You'll be just fine. Then gonna cure this. So next color is black, right? So now at this point I gotta decide, do I want black art gel or do I want black one stroke liners? They both can do whatever it is that I'm about to do, but one is more ideal than others. Because art gels, you can use it for line too. But you see the line is not gonna be sharp and precise like this. It can be, but it will be challenging. Now on these fingers where there is a black line right along the tip, that is something that will black art gel because it's smooth. It's smooth and the stroke is a little bit, tiny bit thicker, which is perfect for this French tip. And the eye of the ghost and all of these eyes right here, art gel can do just fine. However, one stroke liner is just a tad bit sharper. It's totally different gels. It has different consistency. It is lighter, sharper, very opaque. So for beginner, if you apply too thick, then it's not ideal for you. So this gel you have to know how to apply, and I'm applying in thin details because it's very opaque. So a tiny, thin little hair stroke can absolutely be visible on painting. So anytime that I have to paint a little line right into this picture right here, especially this flower have a lot of lines, I will use one stroke liners. So you're about to see one stroke liner in action. Show you that again. There's one stroke liner, and it's a square bottle, so you can tell the difference between the two products. Now let's see. 7mm detail is what I use. I choosing to do the eyes first of the ghost, just so you can see it looking at you while I'm painting. For painting like this, like different shape and all that, where the shape is it's not symmetrical, I tend to use one stroke liner. But when it comes time for something symmetrical, then I need something heavier. One stroke liner is a little too light, not liquidy light, but the type of paint it is allow you to have total control of it, and it can be good or it can be bad. But for a French line, I need the gel to help me a little bit, so I need something heavier so I can drag it perfectly. But with one stroke liner, I'll be doing all the work with a French. I have to use the stability of my finger and everything. So I would say one stroke liner is definitely for a pro artist. Not a pro artist, but you know, for someone who draw before, who somewhat understanding the difference of consistency. And when you understand it and when you can use it, you'll fall in love with one stroke liner. It can do pretty amazing things. For people that usually do nail for 1 or 2 years, they tend to go for one stroke liner because they have experienced all the different consistency, and they be like, you know what? I want something, I can handle this, so I want something really opaque. Because that's what one stroke liner is known for, is its opacity. It's more opaque than art gels. That's why it's named one stroke liner, because it's cover everything in one stroke, in one thin stroke. So different gel for different level of artists, and I make the color different. One stroke liner is different colors than art gel, different tone, different shade, even the yellow, they both different from each other's. So when the time comes, when you're ready, you can even have both products instead of one. It depends on your need. But if you don't have one stroke liner, art gel will do just fine. And if you don't have art gel, vice versa, one stroke liner will do just fine. It just one will make it easier than the others. Okay. And art gel, I come out with it first because you see, beginner, sometimes they apply it too thick, and gel, you don't apply it too thick. Okay, if you do, you're gonna have a hard time curing, especially something that are well pigmented, like my gels. So I make art gel because the consistency is heavier. Not heavy like hard to draw, but heavy as in it just have more volume, and you can feel it when you draw. Then one stroke liner is completely really light. So with art gel, even beginner, when they don't know how to paint, they still can use it without risk of polish chipping or anything like that. Art gel is quite amazing, and you can apply it right onto the surface as a liner with art gel, and you don't have to top coat art gel. One stroke liner, you have to top coat it. See that? Isn't that beautiful? Let me zoom in so you can see. Look at the detail. Crazy. Really nice and thin. I can even stay here just for a little bit while I'm finishing the rest of the girls. 10mm liners. I only zoom in sometimes because our video quality is amazing. So even at normal angle, you still can see very well. It's just when it comes to things like this, I don't zoom in because I think you couldn't see. I zoom in because I want you to indulge in the sharpness of the gel, because especially for people who draw a long time, you can appreciate it. Look at that. Look at the line. It's crazy, isn't it? Okay, so now let's go ahead and do the little drapes here. Let me go up just a little bit so you can see. All right, so now it's time to do these drapes. And when I do this, you will understand why I'm drawing it that way. Ready? So this piece first. And then this. And you go in. At this point, some of you might not understand, but the other side, you will understand. This is just the back side of the drape, but now we're gonna draw the front side of the drapes. So let's see. From here, this is important. Going in. Okay. Now, I want you to start from here. Going in. And go past it. Go past it. And then you curve back. Okay? I'm trying to do it slow so you don't go insane. Let's do the other one. From here, you go past it. And then you curve back. You flow with it. Okay? Now, right at the edge of this curve, you're gonna draw one line straight down. Same thing with the one on top. Like this, going straight down. Got it? Now do you understand the way the pattern is like this? That is how drape is. I studied drape for a little while. And trust me, you can go crazy just to think about it. If you're not that type that familiar with pattern, it can drive you crazy. But that's why the video is here, so you can practice. Oh, wait, I'm still not done yet. I still have the lead to go. And then I'll be done. And then I'm ready for shading. Okay, so a span. Right now, I'm back to the 7mm. I was using the 10mm details for the outline of the ghost and the drape. But just like the flower, I'm going to go back to the 7mm. Look at how sharp it is. Now, for a typical gels, it's not going to be this opaque and this sharp. Typical gel, if you draw a thin line, then the color will be okay, but it's not going to be like super black. It's going to be like a little sheer-ish. If you were to apply a really thin line with a regular gel pen, mainly because, and I'm not saying art gel is regular, because art gel is fabulous. But art gel is similar like the typical gels where the consistency cannot be too opaque, or else if people apply it too thick, it's not going to cure good. And art gels cure very good. It's very forgiving. Even if people apply a little thick, it's still going to be okay for them. But one stroke liner is different and make it super opaque just for tasks like this, where you not color the whole ghost like the white right here. You just doing a little line like this where you require a certain sharpness. Now, here, 60 seconds. Now, you must have noticed a little pink cheek for the ghost right here. I have a gel just for that. And little shadow, little shade right here for the drape. I have the gel just for that. And that is our shading gels. That is sheer black and blush. It's just like stained glass gel, but stained glass gel are rich, vibrant color. Now, these shading gel are for specific purpose. It's for art that when you do portrait or when you need to shade, these are natural shade like sheer black, and blush is amazing for French tips, just so you know. Now, I am going to apply sheer black first. Using the coloring brush. Anytime that are thin like this, I use the coloring brush to shade it. It's amazing for shading. Let's go ahead and take sheer black. Spread the coloring brush out, roll in it so the gel can emerge in it. And then you just stroke it out because you don't want too much. Now, let's shade. So we are going on the side. Instantly make it great. I love to add shade into a painting. It's amazing. It's satisfying. Okay, and then I am gonna go down here. Bam. Oh, this is so addicting. Sorry, but zoom in again just so you can see it's crazily addicting. See, when I don't know the material, when I like looking at this amazingly beautiful shadow and I be like, what am I gonna use? It can be frustrating and intimidating, but when you know what to use, it's an adventure. Look at that. It's so satisfying just to watch little magic happen right in front of your eyes. That is what I love. Special effects. I love that the most. Just make things that look difficult, not really difficult. Just like when you watch movie and they make like special effect, and you know, when you look at it, you'll be like, how can they possibly do that? But with equipment and everything, it's amazing. So satisfying right here. Just like that. There. You can do a little bit like this on this side if you want. You can get really addicted to this. You have to know how to load the brush though. Let's cure this. And then you have to know how to take the coloring brush, right? And when you load it, you don't just go in and smooth it out like that and then start to like paint like that on a nail. No, that's not gonna work. You lay it down so it can spread out, and you roll in it so all the gel get into all this little crystal right here, and it become nice and smooth and even. And then you stroke it out because you don't want to like cake it with gels. And then you go in. And you see that this is shading right here. Look at that. You can barely see it on the surface just because the color is kind of matching the palette, the shady color, the color shadow. That's sheer black. And I have shadow gel, which is not a 100% black, but a little stronger than sheer black. Because shadow can go from dark to really light. Sheer black can only go light. It couldn't go dark. And then I'm going to zoom out just a little bit because I'm about to use blush. So blush gels, I am, again, clean my coloring brush and take out blush, apply in the same way onto here. Blush is like a pink, but not like a crazy hot pink. It's a natural colors. Look how beautiful. You can leave it like that, or you can wipe your brush a little clean on the palette, and you can just tap around the edge right here to soften the edge. You can do that if you want to be like fancy. You can do that. You want to show up your skill. Show the world that you can blend. Okay, and then you cure. And if you want to be even more fancy, of course you do, then you burn. You see, for all this little leaf right here. Let's add this in. See all the little fall leaf? It needs shading too. So burn is like antiquing, is aging, like burnt paper. You ever do a burnt paper nail art? It's amazing. So these colors like that, like a cigarette burn colors. And it's used for antiquing, distressing, or for autumn like this. You for amber, total shell, burn can be quite amazing. But again, you gotta know what it's for, what it's used for. And when you do, you're not gonna be able to live without it. Go ahead and cure this. So now I am going to use matted, and this might be a different label than yours because it's the newest label that I have, but it's the same thing as my matted. I just have fancy label where I explain everything for you. Let me zoom in so you can see. No wipe top coats, because that's what it is. No wipe. Stick to pigment when cure for 5 and 10 seconds. You have no idea how many people keep asking me because I don't remember, and I don't blame you. There's so many things to remember. So I say, you know what? I'm going to write it in the bottle. So how are you going to remember? And right here, stay like twin. So I'm ready to cure them. I'm ready to finish them, but the only thing left is this. Let me show you later. Let me go ahead and top coat it first and cure for 60 seconds. Okay, the only thing left is these amazing glitter line around this, but don't underestimate these little glitter lines, because I tell you a story. Back in the day, when I have a beautiful matte surface like this, and someone go in and ask me, Tino, can you do a glitter line for me? Did you know what that means for me back in the day? That means that I have to do this glitter line. The background have to be matte. So I have to take top coat and trace on this glitter line, and I do not like to do that. But I have just the gel for it. Behold, Pixie gels. I have 15 colors, and I have new for you. Because it's amazing. It's solid glitters, but it's very smooth in formula, so you can draw very easily. You can draw with ease with thick glitters, but not thick in gels. Gel is amazing for painting, the whole nail French tip color block, or just line work. Because most glitter gel are polished, not line work, but I'm going to use this for line work. So I'm going to clean the brush, and I'm going to take out my 10mm and use it for line work. And this gel solves all my problem, all my worry, because this gel, it doesn't need any top coat. It is no wipe. Pixie gel is no wipe. So when I draw, I can draw whatever I like. But when I'm done, I'm done. When I clear, I'm done. Say goodbye to top coat this little line. Who will want to top coat this little line? It's absolutely insane. So that's why I make Pixie gel, and that make it one of the most popular product. Everybody have Pixie gel, and everybody love to work with it. Just because look how amazingly fast I'm drawing. Now, when you draw, let me go ahead and demonstrate one more thing for you. Thing that you couldn't see. Let me take out a bigger brush, and let me take out one of those sparkle colors, and then use that. I don't want to waste too much Pixie gels. Sparkle Passion is one of the reflective colors, and isn't that pretty? And then, so glitter is not gels. It's not pigmented gels. It's gels with glitter particle in it. Glitter have nothing to do with gel. It's just been introduced into the gels. But it's not like typical gel, like red, yellow, what that's different color, like green, blue. It's not that. It's unique. It have substance in that not belong to a gel family to mix in that. So when you paint, you cannot do it like the what you do to a typical gel, where you just smash like this and paint. Because when you do that, when you apply pressure and paint, you are pressing the gels, and you are moving all of these glitters on both sides. Where the metal, it have less glitter because you press it. If that make any sense. So when you draw, your touch have to be lighter like this. You touch it barely, and then you flow to it. Okay. That is a difference between pressure, as you can see. Number one, I really press it, and you can see it doesn't work out for me very well, like when I float it. That is something that you cannot see when I draw a thin little line like this. You're not going to be able to detect my pressure, but I hope with that explanation, it will grow you into a better artist by knowing how to work with glitter line properly. Because I know it might not be a big deal for some of you, but for some it is. When I go around and teach back in the old day, when I saw some girl were drawing glitter, I was like, oh gosh, no, somebody stop her. She need help. She need help. There is no way to draw glitter like that. So I hope this will grow you, make you better. Now, we have our next nails, which is this fun little thing, exact same concept. So I'm just gonna fly right through it. It's from the pigment base to the gel, exact same concept. The only difference is this little highlight. See this little highlight? I can use highlight gel, but highlight gel is white. I only use it for portrait, but for cartoon like this, I just mix a little white into the original color to make a highlight, and that's the only difference. And I'm gonna show you right away on the next nail. Pigment base. Let me show you the bottle again. This is a pigment base bottle. Pigment base. I choose pigment base because, you know, when you draw something big, again, material matter because, yes, you can use white art gel, which is heavier than gel polish. I don't know why would you use something like that where polish can be perfect, unless you don't have quality white polish where it doesn't show up as well. But if you have it, might as well use it because you are not drawing a line. You just drawing a little shape right here. Look how sharp pigment base is. It's very thin because it is a gel polish, but the color coverage are amazing. And yeah, you can use one stroke liner too, but why? So choose your material wisely. That will make you an awesome artist. Is you know what to pick up that can shape up. Like if you use a art gel or like a painting gel or one stroke to paint this little pumpkin right here, it's gonna take you longer than what I'm doing right now. I'm talking while I'm doing it, but it's gonna take me very fast. Bam, bam, cell level right away. Where normally with like a painting gel, I will have to wrestle with this gel for a good minute or two to paint this pumpkin. So that can be very efficient on timing if you know exactly what to choose. Then before you going up here, let me make up here a little higher, but before you going up here and paint another color pumpkin, then you need to cure this 60 seconds. This one is already done. Look how beautiful it is. Look, they look like twins. Look beautiful. Let me zoom in so you can see. Look at that. One is pointy now, one is square now. That is how you maneuver. Shape don't really change the design much. Sometimes people feel like they have to have the same size and the same shape. It's just because sometimes when people don't know the material, it gets very intimidating on everything, on every single step. But I swear the moment you know your material, you know exactly what Tinovo product to choose, then you're not gonna care what shape inside it is, because you know how everything works. So you just dive right in. You can not even draw a ghost. Like right now, I'm using the same concept to draw a pumpkin. You can just, the freedom is yours. Whenever you know your material, you can just dive right into it. Let's take this color and 7mm detail, because see, I should use either embossed brush or a coloring brush for this second pumpkin. But the reason why I use a 7mm detail, because it starts out sitting right on top of this white pumpkin. So you need a detail to make sure that you can trace around this nicely. See that? Even the brush make the difference. If I were to do it on the embossed brush, yeah, I can do that. It'll be harder, but I can do it. But you're not here to prove anything to anybody. You're here to make your job easier so you can make a ton of money. So picking the material to make your life easier is a definite. Don't worry that your client will tease you because you have to use a different brush. I don't know if anyone thinks that way, but I know some people, they'll be like, oh, I want to be impressive for my client. I don't know if there's an actual person like that. I just make that up. But you know what? You don't need to show up to your client. You just need the result to be amazing. I probably say it because I'm probably one of them that choose to be like, you know what, I'm going to do something difficult just because my client needs to respect me. But make your life easier when you just have the right things. See, pick up the right brush. See, now I'm using an embossed brush because I'm not going to use 7mm detail to paint this whole thing. It can make me, I'm going to freak out. But yeah, I have that feeling back in the old day when I work on my client. Cure this for 60 seconds. When I work on my client, sometimes I forgot to switch brush and I'm in the middle of it. And when I switch, they be like, is there something wrong? And that's when I feel like, oh, no, I'm not doing anything wrong. I just want it to be easier. They never make fun of me, but I don't know. I feel like they do in their head. Hey, but the result is stunning. It's amazing. Okay, now. Leaf. I'm using the 7mm details. You can use the coloring brush or an embossed brush because the leaf is relatively big. It's just that there is these points in the leaf. You know, there's a sharp little edge right here, the sharp little point that I'd rather use detailers to make it insanely elegant in the edge right here. That is just a matter of choices. Okay. Then I am, let me see, I am need to outline both the pumpkin. I noticed that it's the same. Black one stroke liners, and then sheer black, but the brown pumpkin is different. I'm not using black because black will look a little bit unnatural, so I'm using brown one stroke liners. Let's cure this, 60 seconds. First, let's take out black one stroke liner. And don't even ask me what do I prefer, black one stroke liner or art gel, because as a pro artist, I prefer both. There is time that I will be comfortable with art gel. That time that I'm comfortable with one stroke liner, And I tell you that you can have either or. Depend on what kind of artist you are. When you buy like black one stroke, buy white one stroke liner, because one stroke liner stick to pigment like this. See a design like this? That's when I use one stroke liner, white one stroke liner to paint this spider web. I can use pigment bay, but pigment bay is a polish. I can use it to paint a ghost, you know, the whole ghost, which is fine. But when it comes to line like this, oh, I'm scared that you are polish. Look at the sharpness of each point and the symmetrical. I'm not using a polish. I'm using a gel paint because it have more control. This line will stay exactly where it is. It's not gonna try to blend or anything. So one stroke liner, because one stroke liner, when it dry, it stick to pigment. This guy right here. So when you buy this in white. Okay, because black stick to pigment, but pigment don't show up in black. So buy it in white. Now buy art gel in black, because art gel stick to chrome when it's clear. Okay, and then you play with it and you find out which one you prefer, because you will be able to feel the consistency of it when you draw. Use it for line work, use it for detail, use it to paint a French tip, and see which one you prefer. Let's take out 10mm liners, and we are going to detail this. First of all is the pumpkin itself. I stroke it out. I already twisted to make sure I saturate the gel. Now I stroke it out. So the detail gonna be thinness, and I am starting up here, right here, and I'm going down. Look how ridiculously thin it is. That is a hair. This is a hairline. This is a hairline right here. In the middle, I even have way too light of a pressure that the brush actually lifted in the air. So I need to go back for some coloration. But I use such light pressure, and as I say, with a regular gel, you're not gonna see this darkness with this kind of light pressure. Your pressure have to be a little thicker on regular gel. With this, you only barely touch it. So for an artist who are a little more stable with their skill, I need a one stroke liner in my life. Okay, let's zoom back out. Now, let's go ahead and go on this side. Same things. Ooh, a little too much pressure down here. But that's fine. I'm talking while I'm teaching while I'm demonstrating, so it's how I get away with it. Just like this. Okay. One in. And then switch brush, of course, because I'm about to do the eyes. I'm not going to use that long brush for the eyes. I am using 7mm details instead of a 10mm liners. And let's do, okay, do not draw the eye too far up the head. It needs a big forehead. It's make it beautiful. So the eye is close to the middle. When you draw cartoon, you already remember they love big forehead. Shape of a triangle. Shape of a triangle. And go across, but leave a little space on each side. And then just a little curve. At this point, your pressure needs to be all the way up in the air because of this. Let me take our bigger brush again. I like to demonstrate on a bigger brush. Let me take our palette and see. When you draw and curve, especially tiny little curve like this, big curve, I will start in the middle. let's use this line at the curve. Big curve, I will start right in the middle, and I will drag it out and then down, and then from here drag it down, then down. But for a tiny little curve, I couldn't do that. It's tiny, so I have to tilt my brush all the way up like this, and barely touch it. Not all the way up, kind of tilt it, but barely touch it so I can move. Because if I press, see, if I press, then my move will be sloppy. See that? Well, especially if I do like from here to here like this. See, my pressure is light, so I can glide like that. But if my pressure is hard, that's not gonna work. See that? So again, that's what I mean by I almost lift it in the air because my pressure are very, very light when I doing something like that small little circle in the eye like this. When I color it in, you can see it. Okay, the other one, same things. Just like this. Okay. Okay. Perfect. Oh. Well, if you don't have good eyesight, then you're not going to see all these minor little details, so it doesn't matter. That's why I love working on older clients. I'm just kidding. I'm a perfectionist. I pay attention to every single little detail, but always remember, you don't have to. Salon, especially unless they pay you like some serious money, you don't have to have Instagram ready video, meaning the detail is pinpoint to the minute little level. You can do a similar design, but you don't have to pay that much attention to detail. You can be a little sloppy. It's salon. Depending on how much you charge. I always encourage people to charge as much as possible because, you know, I'm a nail tech, you're a nail tech. I want you to make a lot of money. Okay, just like this, going all the way up. And then fill it in with a same brush. Because these nook and cranny are tiny. You need to keep your detail. Even though this is considered coloring, I would definitely use either coloring brush or embossed brush, but not with these sharp little points right beside it. I feel safer with a detail brush. And if at this point you want to change, I wouldn't change, but at this point if you want to change to the coloring brush, because you already done this side, you already done this side, you already done this side, so nothing is thin now, you cannot go out of line. That is when you can change if you like. You can go in the middle and go crazy if you like, but I might change it to depend on how big this space is. If it's a little smaller, I wouldn't change it, but definitely use it in this middle and brush it out like that. You can feel the comfort. I'm gonna go ahead and outline the lid too, just while we add it with the black. I'm gonna go down here, and I'm using the 10mm liner. With this line, you can use the 7 if you like, but I'm using the 10 now, mainly because, and you don't have to, but up here are still wet. If I use in the detail, then I have to reach a little closer, and sometimes my ankle finger right here, where I ankle it, sometimes it touches the wet details. So I want the 10mm because that's far away, I can reach it without trying to touch anything around it. So it's a unique situation. You can use either or, 7 or 10 for this. As I say, you probably can do what the 7mm do with the 10mm. It's just a little harder. Same with the 7. It can do what the 10 do, but it's a little harder. And it's nice for you to have what can make life just a little bit easier when you do what you consider crazy, intricate art. Go ahead and cure this. Or actually, let's not care this because one stroke liner, unlike art gel, is not blendy. It's kind of just stay there as it is, like acrylic paint. So I'm gonna get another colors. This is brown. I'm gonna take brown out. Amazing for fall colors. Let's go ahead and detail it right away. Take our paper towel, clean the 7, clean the 10, then pour it into the brush conditioning cleanser. Pour it in, just pour it in, and then clean the oil off, and then you're ready. So let's go ahead and take the 7mm detail and take one stroke liners, press, roll it into your brush so it saturates your brush, and then stroke it out so it's slimmer. And now we are going to make a little stem for it like this. See, 10 will be a little harder, a little longer, because you have to reach, you have to like reach to the surface with the long stem and trying to do all these smaller curves. So you have to move more. Well, this is really faster because it's shorter. The more you use it, the more you'll know exactly when to use what. And I need to make little lines. These are just pumpkins. They are not jack-o'-lanterns, so you can skip the phase. There is days where I'm happy to skip the phase. Now I can draw the well, so I don't mind drawing. But back in the day when my drawing skill is a little weaker, then anytime I get a skip, like something like this, I'm more than happy to. But now I have the right gel, the right brush, I'm more than happy to paint. Go ahead and cure this. So while we're curing, I'm going to take this color that I already made for the pumpkin. I'm adding a little white in. And I'm going to blend to the whole colors. I will keep most of it like this and just blend a little bit. Like that. So you can use both if you need to come back to that colors. And you can tell that this is speaking from experience, because back in the day when I mix the whole thing in, if I want to get to the original color, guess what? Gotta try to make it again. So I want to save you some trouble. Now, the brush that you need next, you see this stroke right here? That little light area where the stroke of the highlight of the pumpkin, that is definitely coloring brush. Coloring brush. Emboss brush, it would do, but you need a brush where you can press it like this. You need a brush where you can press it out and just lather it on the surface. You need something like that. So I'm gonna take this out, dip into that light colors. I wanna see the pressing so you can see the purpose of this brush. Okay. See the brush is loaded with gels, but by far not cakey like this. I'm stroking it out, so it's decent. It's not cake with gels. And press and go. You can press it again. You can even blend. So that is coloring brush. When you have the coloring brush and play with it, it makes more sense. I don't know if it makes sense to you when I let you see in it like this, but when you practice, it will make more sense to you. You feel the comfort right away. Hear this? Certain product, you have a feeling of, oh, I don't want to do this. Certain product, you have feeling like, yay, let's do it. Just like if you go to like hiking or driving in mountain area and stuff like that, like over rocky path and road, and you be like, let's do that in my Honda. I'd be like, I don't know about that. But if you be like, let's go hiking and drive over this terrain with my Jeep, then I'd be like, oh yeah, if you have a car for hiking, let's go. Let's use it. But if you have a Honda, like a Toyota Corolla, no, I don't want to. It would ruin my car. I don't know if that's a good example. Go ahead and put mat it on. all over because the last detail we haven't do the shading with sheer black. Let's pop in the shading really quick. Coloring brush, and I'll let you see sheer black again. This is sheer black. Okay, now just on one side. You don't want too much. Okay, stroke it out. Okay, good. The coloration is perfect. All the way down. If you put too much, it's not gonna get darker. It should get thicker. Color are perfect for shading. Go ahead and cure 60 seconds. And then take our top coat and top coat that. And we have the tip. The tip is a little different. I'm just gonna paint in the tip right now. I'm not using the coloring brush. It can paint well, but I need to do this French line, and I'm not gonna use this short brush to do the French line. I'm not gonna use a liner because the line will be way too thin, and I have to color everything. Emboss brush is perfect. Take out your emboss brush and your colors, which is this one right here. Okay. This is my bottom of the French. Then I am curving up. I don't know if you ever use it for French tip, but when you use the emboss brush for French tip, you don't go back. Probably a lot of people watching use liner brush for French tip, and that is so yesterday. Cause right now, this brush are #1 in the French word because of its coloring ability. It's not just able to do line, but color. And the line are thick enough that you don't go out of line. And I got a lot of feedback from this brush. Anybody that uses it fall in love with it instantly. I would say emboss brush sell faster than the coloring brush. And I believe that we already sort of sold out. I don't know, you need to check the website. But when it get back in stock, you will definitely want to check it out if you don't have it already. We are going to cure this and paint color on it. So let's go ahead. Apply top coat on these nails. And just because I'm explaining and demonstrating and explaining and teaching everything, but if I do on my client, this set, I would say it could be really fast. All you have to do is mix all the color first. Take this out, and we are going to see the flowers is different. The flower you can definitely use a coloring brush for the flower. One big giant purple flower right here. See, it's coloring brush can spread out big. Oh, I go crazy. I go really big. Just wanted you to see that amazingness. And I'm addicted to brush. I keep wanting to see all kind of possibility out there. Just because I know they're gonna be one that make my life easier than the others. So I love brushes. I believe I have 18 brushes right now. Cure this. Now, this is already out. And let's pop in bronze. Pixie gel is my favorite thing in the whole world. Not bronze. I mean, I like bronze, but I like pixie gel in general. The most selling color is gold, obviously. But I have fun color pixie gels. If you haven't checked out the pixie gel lesson on how to use your product on YouTube, go check it out. It's amazing. Okay. Now, I'm going to trace around it. Remember, pressure matters. I don't press much. I just pick up gel mostly in the tip of my brush. Make sure that you press it out and wiggle from side to side so it's not stiff. So there's flexibility in the brush. It can soak in gel very well. Because when the brush is stiffish, then it's not going to take gel. And it's going to be harder for it to draw. So you have to press it out and wiggle the gel into it so it's nice and smooth for you. But that is how you prep your brush with colors. But then when you actually draw, I just pick up gels. I only wiggle it in the beginning when I first started the colors. But after that, I just pick up some gel right on the tip of my brush and I just glide through it. Like that. That's for glitter gel. Cue this. Now let's switch to the detail brush. And we are going to use it for these little leaf right here. The green and brown leaf all over. I'm going to do green first. So easy. Just like this. And then brown. And that had to be brown one-stroke liners. Take it out. And put it in. Just like this. Put it in. Okay. And then here. This is done. Put it on this side. Now, what we have left is to outline it. And if you notice, these black line up here are wet. Not wet, but, you know, shiny looking. The black line here is matte. I just want to point that out for later. So, let's outline it first with one stroke liner black. And the detail brush, of course. Now take that out. Okay, another one. So easy. Another one. Barely touching it, the surface. The color will pay it. When you touch it, the color is there right away. So you don't need to do any extra pressing. You just glide through it. You can almost use it like a magic pen. And outline this one. Just like that. Don't pay too much attention to the leaf detail. It's leaf. Just go crazy. Okay. Now, let's cure this. Let's mat it. I'm gonna clean my brush. I always clean it with a paper towel first, just because I don't want the solution to be too contaminated. Okay. And then I am going to take matte out. And I am going to apply on this and cure this. Okay. Now, the reason why I put matte, let's cure this for 60 seconds. What left is pixie gels, of course. But another thing is that I did not use one stroke liner on the surface of this for the French line. I decided that it needs to be like different. It needs to pop out, so it needs to be shiny. And the one gel that can go as a line without top coat is art gel. So I'm going to take art gel out. And I'm going to dip it in. So this is art gel. And I'm going to use it to draw the French line. I feel more comfortable using art gel for the French line. I feel like I require too much control if I use one stroke liners. Because one stroke liner don't help you draw. Art gel will help you draw. One stroke liner, its job is its coverage. And that was it. It cannot allow you to do all the control if you dare. That's why art gel is beginner friendly, but later on you might discover that you need one stroke liner in your life. Just like this. Little stitches. That's it, here. And then let's not forget about pixie gels. So we're gonna take out this pixie gel right here. And maybe a little dot in here. Some glitter line just to match the theme. Here. Oh, and if you don't want this crystal right here, because not everybody, not all the customer can afford crystal, but without crystal, you can take a little bronze pixie gel and just do like that on the cuticle. And that'll be just as pretty and inexpensive for your client. Or if they don't want crystal, you know, you can just do this. It's pretty. Just like that. A lot of people use it to dress things up like that. Hear this? And let's put all the brushes away. Let's put the pixie gels away, art gel away. And I feel like you don't really need lesson on cleaning, but you'll be surprised how many people want to watch me clean. I don't know why. I don't have a French maid outfit or a duster, but a lot of people just want to watch me clean. So I take this out, and how I'm gonna do it. Back in the day, I would acetone all over it and clean it. It's so messy. But now I take whatever I have here. I slap it in. You can do it like this too. It's just up to you. And I call this dry clean. So you just wipe up any messy, yucky gel on here. It's done with. What's left, you apply some acetone. At this point, you already folded the paper towel up. You apply some acetone and you wipe through it. Beautiful. Beautiful. That is how you work when you have multiple palettes. Because there'll be some day when you graduate into 2 palettes and 3 palettes. Just depend on your need. When that day comes, I'll be very happy for you, because that means that you have growth and have developed more need as an artist. But anyway, that is the end of this lesson right here. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and don't forget to subscribe us on YouTube at Tino Vo. And everything that I use today is available on www.tinovo.shop. And until next time, bye-bye.